How many church activities or meetings have you had during this year? Just think about how many you have attended and the plates, the different products that are being used to serve you food. All right. Probably you will be just thinking about getting some plates, some forks, cups that are disposable. All right. So in most of the cases, or at least in the country that I live, all of the disposable plates that are being used are from styrofoam. And a styrofoam, it is something that can be um, very bad for the atmosphere, for the environment. According to Washington University, the styrofoam takes over 500 years to decompose. It cannot be recycled, so basically they are just dumped and never destroyed until 500 years pass. So here's the thing. The problem that we may have on using styrofoam or disposable dishes and plates throughout different activities that we have in our current year or current life may cause a tremendous impact throughout time. Okay, maybe one or two or three parties that you have may not impact that much, but just consider how many parties or events that you're attending that can cause a lot of damage. So here's the problem. The main point of my speech today is to let you know and share with you an idea on how one of these particular activities where we always have disposable dishes, especially of styrofoam, can be just stopped. And we can move into a different model of using different dishes, different types of plates, and cups, forks, everything that is used to serve food, and reduce the impact that we have in the atmosphere. So think about the church activities that we have. You know, as members of the church, we love to have different activities at the church, and probably we have around 10 or 20 activities throughout the year, maybe less. It depends on the world that you live in. But in any of these activities that we always have disposable dishes. Like I said, in my country, in Mexico, we have a lot of styrofoam dishes or styrofoam plates that are used only for one occasion. And in some of these church activities, you may have seen someone just getting a plate and then throwing it away and just going for another one instead of using the same one. Why? Because we love to serve meals or different dishes with a lot of food, and then at the end we have more dishes already served than people, so they have to use them. Or just they forgot about it. They just don't want to mix flavors because you have to have different plates for food and then different plates for desserts and so on. So at the end, this will cause a lot of trash, right? And that's the problem that we have. In every single church activity that you have attended, you're going to have disposable dishes. In most of the cases, they are a huge expense per activity and they're expensive too. If you think about it, I have Googled different prices throughout Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club, different stores that are more known. And there's also local stores that have different options of plastic that can be used over and over and over again. So the solution or the idea that I am proposing currently at the world that I'm in, serving as a leader, is to start buying some plates, some cups, some forks that can be used over and over again. So the idea of this is to get their own plates for the world so they can be used on every single church activity. So instead of just creating a bunch of trash in every single activity with a lot of disposable dishes, we can start buying more of this plastic that can be used over and over again. And in that way, we will stop creating a lot of trash for the environment and a lot of contamination. So, if you think about it, probably just so you can have an idea, uh, 25 plates are equal to 3 plastic plates. If you think about how many activities you have throughout the year, probably you can save more money just buying over 100 of these at once and then stop buying these disposable plates or disposable dishes. And at the end, it will be a saving activity. So, with this idea, we're, the idea that I'm presenting is to reduce the pollution, contamination, etc. that we have created. And remember, there's you need to spend 500 years to decompose this styrofoam. So we're not even going to be here by that time. So the plan is start getting this and use them on each work activity. And of course, we're going to need people to clean them, different families to do it. So the idea is also to create a plan, a work plan, to have all of these dishes always clean. There's the idea that we have in the world is just getting 100 at first and having at least 10 different families to keep them clean at, at home. So on the activities, someone will be responsible to collecting all of them. Just bring them to the church and use them. And at the end of the activity, the same principle will happen or will apply. There will be some people assigned to take them home and wash them or even do it at the church. But the idea is that we're going to be using this over and over again on each activity. Since we have a chapel where there's two words intending, this idea can be expanded and we can have some word plates or word dishes instead of having this by ourselves by a single word, because of course we're not going to be using the chapel at the same time. So that is something that can happen. That's the idea that I'm presenting. That's the idea that I want to introduce to everyone. And as just as a fact or a way that I can probably a story that I can share with you is when I was gonna be gonna get married uh, back in 2016. Over the 6 months before, we started to look for different things for the party. Okay, uh, over here in Mexico, they they rent the dishes, but we made some math and it was really expensive, and it was better to purchase some plastic plates, the fancy ones, not the ones that are from different colors. They were white with some decoration and some things like that. And we bought them. We started the plan 6 months before the party to buy some on a monthly basis. And at the end, by the wedding, we had over the 200 plates that we needed. The 200 cups and different forks, knives, everything was there. Even plates for desserts and things like that. So at the end of the wedding, we got all of them home. We washed them and we were able to use them in different parties until they started to broke. I mean, they were plastic. They were the cheap ones, but it was a way to, in a way, save money, but at the same time, uh, do not create a lot of contamination. So that's something that I have applied in the past, and that I think it can be a really good idea to implement at church. Perhaps maybe not just having the word dishes. Probably start this process of stop using styrofoam dishes at the word for these activities, and start inviting everyone to bring just their own plates, so we can start recycling or we can start reusing those plates, the ones that we have at home. And for people that is just coming into our activities, the idea will be to have some. add the word just for them so they can feel welcome, and not like just bring them here to the church and hey, you're not gonna eat because you don't have a plate or you don't have dishes. So that's the idea, and the action plan that we're gonna be taking right now. It's just we're creating a budget. We're comparing different prices, different types of plates. The idea is to have all equal, so nobody feels like, oh, my plate is different than the other one. And yeah, that's the plan. So I invite you to think about it, to think about how many plates probably you have used during this year that are disposable, and just think about um, if this was only a single plate, how much money have you saved, or how many years are need to happen or need to pass so this can be decomposed, the ones that you just recently used. So think about it, um, and hopefully we're gonna start making these changes in our own words.